Right, okay, as promised, today's how to build a boomerang factory is going to be about our new Heidelberg cylinder press. Which I've been going on about for a little while. These sort of things get me very excited. This is, what is it? It must be the fourth or fifth die cutting platen press, die cutting press that I've owned over my life, and I've got a particular fondness for these machines. Anyone who's worked on a Heidelberg at any stage, I think can't help but have a sort of deep affinity with the things. They're beautiful machines. So anyway, what are we going to use it for, and why have we got it, and what does it do? So Heidelberg, German printing press manufacturers, and really they've dominated the print industry through letterpress and litho for the last 100 years or so, just because of the incomparable quality and precision. So how does it work? What does it do? What you've got, if we turn it on a bit. Okay, do that again. So back here, you've got this flat bed here, flat steel bed, and into that you would place, this is what you call a chase, and these machines were originally designed, they're very adaptable, they do all sorts of things, but they're originally designed for actual printing from letterpress type, which is movable lead type. In the old days, right up until about 1985 really, was when letterpress stopped being a commercially viable printing practice, and all of that work went over to litho. But everything was done using movable slugs of type, either lines of type or whole sheets of type or individual letters, which really was the original sort of invention of movable type by people like Gutenberg and Thomas Caxton in the UK. Well, in the UK then, in England, long time ago. And so you would arrange what you were printing in this chase, okay? And then that chase slots into the machine there. And then what happens is, you'd have a pile of stock, your unprinted stock, which would sit back here in the feed area of the machine. And you wind the feed table up. Yeah, if you want to get a look at this, Dan. So this feed table here, you wind it up to the height of your stock. You have all your sheets of paper in there, a bit like your photocopier these days. And this thing gradually moves up, and it feeds. If we get the thing running, oh yeah, we've got the garner. Safety first. So we get the thing running. These are vacuum grippers, which pick the sheet up. They pass it to the grippers here. That pulls the sheet over. This device here knocks it into alignment with your die, your cutting tool or your printing form. Pass it to another set of grippers. If you want to come around here, Dan, get a look at the cylinder. That passes it over the cylinder, and the cylinder wraps the paper round and down. Now, as that comes in, the zenith of the curve of the cylinder meets the bed with the movable type on it that's shuttling underneath, and the two come into contact. As the shuttling bed moves back and forwards, it's receiving ink from the ink fountain here, which goes over all these rollers you can see moving back and forth. That mills the ink onto the type, and as the two are brought together, you get your impression, and then it chucks it out the back into the delivery area as your printed sheet. And that's how they work. And so, like I say, they're very adaptable machines. So these days, because there's not really a lot of call for letterpress printing work, some people do it as a sort of boutique, very bespoke thing for wedding stationery, things like that. But it really is a niche kind of hobbyist interest. But so because they're not really used for commercial printing anymore, people use them for die cutting, which is where if you've got something that's an irregular shape, so like our stickers, which are they're cut to a contoured shape, you would have a die form. What do I do with it? It's like you have a die cutting form which has blades in it in the shape of whatever you want to cut out. It's like a massive cookie cutter, really. So for these stickers, we'd have a large form like this that is the shape of the stickers, and we probably have on this machine. We'd probably cut about 18 or 24 of those stickers all at once on a big sheet should be screen printed on here, on our little satin press. So you screen print the sheets on there, into the machine, die cut, and then you've got your stickers. And we can also do things like, you know, it'll put the crease into the headers of our packaging and the Euro slot and all that. So that's a potted version look at the wonderful Heidelberg cylinder printing presses. Why do I do this? Lord knows. I've had this problem with buying weird old machines most of my life, really. I can only do it if people actually buy our products, which are our boomerangs. Strip laminated by us in Cornwall, everything's handmade. As you can see, we try and do as many of the processes for manufacturing and all the rest of it ourselves, because that's what we like to do. But I can only indulge this ridiculous hobby if people buy one. So go online at www.willpearsonboomerangs.co.uk and have a look at what we got. Cheers, thank you, next time.